Alright, let me go back. It was a short video. It was the Nat Turner video. So, I don't know. Alright, so now I'm looking for the video. You gotta bear with me for 1 second. I know y'all people don't like to sit around and just listen. But I'm gonna go to the Nat Turner said video. So go to when I got in the house. Running kind of slow. Okay, so now while this catching up, so go back. While that's catching up, I wanna go over here and see what happened if I just Google Trump. Yep, here we go. Atlantic Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun. Okay, stop the video here for y'all. Okay, look. That's Donald Trump. Now, when you go to the original video, it's going to be clearer. But this hand right here is holding up the 3 6s, right? Now, he's telling me where the Pope at, right? Now, remember, he got on the red tie, so this the red lodge. Now, remember the symbolism. Look, cut me out. Cut me out of my own video. So I know y'all catching the flux on that end. They don't like me bringing this heat like this. All right, so Donald Trump is telling me where the Pope at. He's that. If I go through that, it would identify to me who the Pope is. But we're not gonna deal with that. We're gonna find something new, Trump. That I haven't done yet. Right. So now we'll go through Trump and we'll look for images. All right. Look, now, I just found this picture. This is some crazy shit. But look. Anybody seen the Moorish Islam more? Islam more? You see? I'm not making this shit up. This ties us back into the Moorish Order of the Round Table. Right? This is the Moors. Right? Now look, he got on the blue suit, but the tie, he's representing the Red Lodge. Right? That's who he representing, the Red Lodge. No thank you, I don't want none. Now, let's go a little further. President Donald Trump talking to reporters on the South Lawn of the White House on Friday. That doesn't seem to hold any clues. Okay, so the biggest clue from here is the 5. That's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Or as they say, this represents the woman, the 5. But then, we know because he's wearing a red tie, he's coming out of the Red Lodge. And the Red Lodge, remember, it ties you right back to the CIA. Right? Real bad boys move in silence. Nations of gods and earth, 5%. These are the imposters I'm pointing out to y'all. Y'all getting to see who the imposters is stealing all y'all shit. Y'all getting to see. This is a symbol for the 5% nation. This is where Puffy was sending me. Go look at the bad boy colors. Matter of fact, you ain't got to. I'll pull them up for you. I'll pull them up for you. Go to images. Make sure we get exactly on Puffy shit. Look. The donut. The wheel. The baby. But that ain't the original colors. If y'all remember, all that shit new. The original bad boy shit was red. The original Bad Boy shit was red and white. He changed the colors, right? He changed the colors after they fell out with Suge and Pac. So he went to black and white. But now, look, watch this. I'm going to put y'all up on some game. Watch what happened. Right here. Oh, man. I hate when they do that. That's some shit I don't even want. Okay. This the team. Right? Now look at Biggie. Now remember, they said Pac, it was 7 outlaws. Now look, watch this. Watch this. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Biggie. It's the same with Pac. It's the same with Pac. So this right here, this is him. Now if you go look up their zodiac signs, I'm willing to bet their zodiac signs is probably Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and what's that other one? Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. The Eagle, Scorpio too. So 2 of them might be Scorpios. Right? Now, so now the whole thing is, how do I get the sword? Now let's go back to the Messiah for a minute. Not the Messiah, the KGB. Alright, now, you see they symbol? Now, how do you know that the Blue Lodge, right? How do you know that the Blue Lodge is involved as the 6 dots? The 6 dots is the 6 points of the star. There are 6 dots. Right? Now, the sword is called the Excalibur. So let's look up the Excalibur. I want y'all to see this. This ain't made up. This is real time. This is how you find out. See? Excalibur. The sword. The sword. Now. See it? It's supposed to be the greatest sword of all. I already got it. Right? Now. Where is that? It's in the car. I don't think I brought it back in. So, all of these symbols are taking me all over the place in order to track some shit down. Now, I be told to buy shit, and I don't even be wanting this shit, but they be telling me to buy shit because I got to prove a point later on. Now this one, this is my Japanese sword. So, down here in the dungeon, getting ready to go live here after I figure out how to invite some people. So I'm going to do some invites down the line here as we get into this video. Basically, this is going to be like from the beginning of creation to now, what happened to make black people go from ruling everything on the planet to being ruled everywhere on the planet. And as I get started here, I'm going to talk about all around the world, wherever you find us at. Like, go to India. India, they have a group of people there known as the Untouchables.
They are the Aksumi, or the dark-skinned, woolly-haired people of Europe, and they often call them the untouchables. And these untouchables of India came from Africa a couple thousand years ago and settled the area. And so they end up being placed in a different role. So now, if you use your biblical reference, the biblical reference says that the last shall be first and the first shall be last. It's talking about the stone that the builder rejected being the chief cornerstone. So we got to go back to a time when Earth was pretty much a peachy place to be. And from that, it ended up to where war and pain and suffering seemed to be the rule of the day. So we went from being a peaceful planet where we came and developed a high spiritual culture, fashion, design, dance, art, and all of the different sciences. Now, coming from what looks like a dark age, stone age, so to speak, like a prehistoric period where a couple more invites, and then I'm gonna go ahead and have you off into this subject matter. A couple more here. Okay. All right, so I'm done doing invites. So, so black people here in America are under the false illusion that they were slaves, first and foremost. So remember that history is written by the ones they call the victor. So the winner write the story. So what story would the winner give you that would prevent you from resisting his tyranny and his reign? He'll give you a view of history that would make you least resistant. He'll give you a view of history that make you least amount of resistant to him ruling over you. And there's no secret in America that the caste system has been turned into a skin-based caste system. This is where the doctrine of white supremacy was adopted from by Alexander. Now, you have to be able to take yourself out of history as a victim of it in order to see the timeline. So we go back to the beginning. The beginning is this. When they talk about Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Australopithecines, Australobustus, Australogigantopithecus, all of these different ancient skeletal remains they finding were black people. All the way back to Lucy to about a little less than 10,000 years ago. Europe was sparsely inhabited by pockets of people before this, okay? So what happened that brings us to this point is the scientists of an earlier period decided that they wanted to capture these forces that governed over as nature spirits. And in order to capture them, they built what we see in CERN as a hadron collider, a particle accelerator. And this is the fall, but the fall was not from a transgression. The fall was from science going wrong, or how it intended. Now, so in order to be able to see what's going on, we got to go to the Egyptian sciences. All right, Egypt is the origin, or the record keeper. The Egyptian sciences tell us that everything that exists came forth from something called the Nun, N-U-N, the Nun. It's pronounced just like noontime. And it's a reason for that. What we call, in modern science, dark matter. And dark matter is the most potent form of energy discovered to date, but it's the most hard and difficult to harvest. So this is what they was originally building the particle accelerator for back then, which is the exact same justification for this particle accelerator. Now, at this time, the people were not like they are now. The physiology was different. They had a more, like a longer body, longer torso, more protruding abdomen, because they breathe heavily from their lower abdomen. When they tell you to breathe from here, breathe, and in singing, they teach you how to breathe from the diaphragm, which gives you that bold look in your belly. So these people had what we tend to call a beer belly in appearance, but they were slim in description. They were very skinny people with longer limbs. So you see some humans that have arms that's way long for their body. Those are throwback from this period. Anyway, so the goal was to take these, what they call whole light beings. The whole light beings were what you call nature spirits, and they maintained the balance throughout nature because they were all like expressions of Ma'at. Ma'at being perfect balance. Ma'at being also represented by an Egyptian deity by the name of Ma'at, who actually earned the title of Ma'at as a just judge. So when you see them use Ma'at and they represent it by that particular female called Ma'at, she earned that title because she was the most just judge of the period. So she earned the title of Ma'at, and she earned the title of being just in her judgment. And so we know her in modern times, they call her Karma. They call her Karma and Akasha because she keep the records for judgment. So it works like this. The wisdom precedes the justice. The wisdom collects the information that the judgment will be rendered by. So you got to be wise enough to know the right and wrong aspect. So then you see your biblical story of Adam and Eve not knowing right and wrong. That's what they're talking about because, hey, how y'all doing? Let me say hi to a couple people. Hey, Malika, Abadia, how y'all doing? So when you look at Ma'at in Egypt, you see other things that's tied to it. A set of scales, the woman with the wings, these different things. So you see all of this stuff in the stela or the hieroglyph. So you go to a historical record in the hieroglyph and you see that there's a whole lot of judgments taking place. And what we don't realize is that in Egypt, you have a set of earth guardians. These earth guardians are not originally from Egypt. They came from deeper in the interior of Africa. So we end up encountering something they call a Dogon. Now, in the Dogon story, they said that the black people came from Sirius A, Sirius B, and Sirius C. And they have some other things in their story that I'm not going to touch on because they haven't exposed it to the Western world for a reason. But they tell that the gods, Amo and Namo, when they begin to become conscious on earth, came and told them to restrain from the use of projectile weaponry. This is before the invention of gunpowder. We talking thousands of years ago. They're telling them to avoid the projectile weapons. Now, why would they tell them that? because projectile weapons aren't invented yet, or were they? So what they was warning them about is the projectile weaponry that we call firearms leads down a bigger bomb path that will end up in the nuclear bomb as the result. That's why they warned them against it. Another reason they warned them against it is because during the transitional phase from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, the firearm would be the symbol for the strength and the power, which is told to us by indicating the chosen one as a spear. Say the flaming spear or the burning spear. Now, on the continent of Africa, the designated one as the Son of Man is represented by a spear where the tip of the spear is on fire. So you see that the publication here was out of Chicago for the New Panther Vanguard was called the Flaming Spear. You go to Jamaica, Haiti, and islands, and you find a very strong reference to the Flaming Spear, which points back to the connection to Africa. Whereas over here, it's not a flaming spear, it's a golden arrow in what they call the Americas, which is the Amur Inca. And this is why everybody's saying that they